All right, well, welcome back. Today I'm going to talk with you a little bit about being greedy and how you can tell if you're too greedy in your relationship. So stay tuned, enjoy the ocean views, and let's talk a little bit about greed. Hey, well, I'm joining you today from sunny California, and so excited to share with you about this topic today. This topic of greed and how you can tell if you're being too greedy in your relationship. My family and I are on vacation, and I thought, what a beautiful scene in order to do this video. So don't mind the background. I hope you enjoy the sound of the waves. There's a few planes flying over from LAX airport, and but we're just having a great time here. And I wanted to talk with you a little bit about greed today. All right, so couples being greedy is something that I run into quite frequently. You'd be surprised how many couples have a difficult time knowing how to share in a relationship. And what I mean about sharing is sharing preferences in a relationship. There's going to be a lot of different things that couples see eye to eye on. There's going to be many things in your relationship that you're compatible with, and those are probably the reasons that you got together in the first place. But for every couple, there's going to be a certain amount of items in the relationship that they're just not going to see eye to eye. And when that occurs, when that happens, we want to find out, are you too greedy in your relationship, right? Are you more focused on yourself than you should be? So one of the ways that you can figure this out is you can ask yourself the question, if there's two people in a relationship, about half the time things should go my partner's way and things should go my way. So when we have a difference, you can ask yourself that question, am I allowing this one to go my partner's way, or do I always want it to go my way? Now, anytime that there's a conflict, it means that two people are seeing things a little bit different than one another. Otherwise, you wouldn't have the conflict. So if each time you have a conflict, you're fighting for your way, instead of thinking about how can I make things go my partner's way, you're too greedy. It's about as plain and simple as you can get, right? If any time that there's a conflict in the relationship, you want it to resolve the way that you think it should go, you're too greedy, right? So instead of wanting things your way all the time, what we want to do is challenge yourself to see how frequently you can compromise with your spouse and allow something to go their way. So if a topic has come up that you don't feel that passionate about, it just doesn't matter that much to you, you have a preference, but it's not a big preference, let it go your partner's way. Let them have their way, especially if it's something that doesn't matter as much to you as other items, right? We want to look for opportunities you can let things go your partner's way so that you can make sure that you're not being too greedy in the relationship. Now, if they're doing this principle and you're doing this principle about 50% of the time, allowing it to go your partner's way, you're probably not going to end up being too greedy, right? But if every single time there's a conflict, you want it to go your way, you're being too greedy. You need to make room for another person in the relationship. There's two of you, which means there's going to be two opinions, two preferences, and it needs to go two different ways, right? So as we talk about 50% of the time letting it go your partner's way, I don't mean like keeping score. Sometimes couples will do this. They'll actually keep score in their relationship. And they'll focus on how many times my partner's gotten their way versus how many times have I gotten my way. And it's almost like they'll check off the box each time to say, well, you got your way last time, now it's my turn, which can still be a pretty self-centered, self-focused way of resolving differences. Which means instead of keeping track, we just want to use the rule of thumb saying, how frequently can I let a preference go my partner's way that doesn't mean as much to me? So that the ones that mean the most to me, I can try to help go my way. So ask yourself that question, challenge your partner to do the same. Let's focus on a goal in our relationship of allowing each other opportunities to have their way when we run into a preferential difference, right? A difference of opinion, a difference of preference. Challenge yourselves to see how frequently you can let it go your partner's way. If you're doing that often, you're not going to end up having greed ruling in your relationship, right? We want selflessness ruling in the relationship. And when you have two people who are being selfless, the relationship is going to go really well. You're not going to have to be so concerned about fighting for your way every time, because your partner is going to be looking for opportunities the same as you to give to your preference and to your ideals. So that's my challenge to you, right? Look for as many opportunities as you can to let things go your partner's way. And in doing that, you're going to ensure that you're not too greedy. All right, well, thank you for joining me from California. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, like, subscribe, share. Let's make a difference in the world by changing couples' relationships all around the world. It's always a joy being with you, and I look forward to being with you again soon. Take care.